Hey everyone, this is Steve from GamersNexus.net, and today we are playing Shootmania Storm, which is a sweet new Twitch shooter game in the style of Quake and Unreal. And this one's a bit different from those. It's very fast, just like them, except you only have one weapon, and we're going to talk about that in a moment. What happens here is because you only have one weapon, there's no Counter-Strike style buy system, there's no there's no Unreal pickup system. You need to be very good with that weapon, and you also need to be very fast and very good at dodging, because you only have a couple hits and then you're out for the round. So, because this game only gives you one weapon, and because you only have 4 charges of that basically plasma cannon before it cools down, it takes a bit of strategy and a lot of aim to figure out where and when you need to place your bullets to take out your current or multiple enemies. And what eventually happens is the player who is the most dexterous and most able to think on their feet and dodge the incoming rounds is the one who will probably win. So we are currently spectating because I joined in the middle of a round. This is the first round of the map, so that's convenient. All these players right now are getting squished toward the middle of the map by this storm you see on the outline edges of it. So the way this happens, at the beginning of the round, some player captured this pole in the middle that we're looking at right now. It's effectively a capture the flag type thing, except in a free-for-all format. Once someone has captured that pole, they initiate the storm, which is on the outline edges of this arena. The storm slowly compresses players toward the center of the map, eventually eliminating those who are caught in it and obviously forcing them to fight. So it keeps rounds very short and very, just really, flying off the cuff. So you do get a ton of points for capturing the pole. However, everyone kind of, oh wow, took that guy out pretty fast. Everyone kind of converges toward the center and goes for it because of the amount of points you get. So I'm going to stay on the outskirt of the map until the storm has been initiated. That sort of gives me a chance to get more points through other means, like killing players or out-surviving them. And the game actually is very challenging in these free-for-all matches. This is called Royal, this game mode. There are a couple other game modes, and then there are a good deal of unofficial game modes that players have made. So basically you only have 2 shields. You have 2 hits and you're out. And this is actually a healing pad right there. I need to get moving because that storm is closing in. 2 hits, you're out. And if you happen to die before the pole is captured, which is to say very early in the match, then you end up getting to respawn, except you only respawn with 1 shield. Let me focus on killing this guy for a second. So this is incredibly hard. Okay, so I won that round. I gained 38 points. I'm pointing at the screen as if you can see it. I gained 38 points. I hit 16 people, or got plus 16 rather, for hitting people, and I out-survived the other 11 players, which then doubles to a survival score of 22 because I was the last man standing, so that gets you quite a deal more points. We're going to ignore some of the complexities of the scoring system. It's really not that hard to understand, but we need to focus on gameplay before going into the numbers of the game. So gameplay, pretty straightforward. You want to hit players. There's some strategy in rushing the pole, because you get a lot of points for triggering that, and you also force a conflict between yourself and all the other players who have rushed the pole, who are probably fairly good players. But there's also strategy to staying toward the outer edges, like I did last map. You saw how well that worked. Not always the best, because you may get eliminated and then you didn't get points for the pole, you didn't get points for surviving, you just get screwed all around. However, there's also strategy just to how you shoot, how you fight. So we see in the bottom left, user interface is kind of annoying, but in the bottom left you can see I have 4 charges for my plasma cannon, we'll call it. Currently down to 3. And what happens here, ouch, I'm down to 1 shield now, you can see that in the middle bottom as well. What happens is, as you shoot, that initiates a cooldown, and yeah, this guy's good. Okay, so he won that round. As you shoot, it initiates a cooldown, so if I fire 4 rounds in rapid succession, then I'm out of shots for a good, a couple seconds, which is actually a very bad thing. So as getting back to the original point here of this monologue, their strategy to conserving your shots and letting the enemy shoot their 4 rounds, and then trying to fire back at them during their recharge. So I hit him once, he's got 1 more shield. Again, you only get 2 shields, so that makes it very easy to die. Also makes for some interesting dynamics when you and the other player both have an equal exchange and hit each other once, because suddenly both players are forced with a decision, do I play aggressively or defensively right now? I'm getting tag teamed here by 2 players, but luckily there's a healing pad right here, so if I do get hit, as long as the storm's not too close, I can try to recover some of that damage. You can see he is doing that right now. That's the guy I hit earlier. Anyway, what's happening here is the player who hits 200 points first will win. You get points in 3 major ways: by out-surviving players. Oh shit, that was close. By out-surviving players, by hitting players, and by capturing the pole. And then your points are doubled or something crazy. You get a good deal more points for winning the entire match. That's hits. That's points I got for hitting players. That's survive. I survived, X many more people. And then pole in the middle. Everyone gets a point for the round as well, I believe. Jeez, that guy does not like me. What am I going on about here? Kind of focused on not dying right now. I'm gonna run for the healing pad while I have a second to break free, because losing a shield so early is a massive detriment. If you end up caught in the final 2 battle in the middle and you only have 1 shield and he has 2, you better be a damn good shot. And speaking of being a damn good shot, being a Twitch shooter, oh gosh, again, being a Twitch shooter, the game relies pretty heavily upon mouse control and upon your ability to move on the keyboard. High DPI is kind of cool, but I actually play with low DPI in an effort to better control my mouse when I'm aiming, and I have found that actually works better. That's a whole different discussion. Let's see if that guy got eliminated by the storm, I think. Nope, he did not. Anyway, the game comes down to your ability to aim, and once you have 2 players in the center like this, it's really just like a back and forth kind of juking match. Whoever can juke the other guy first and trick him into running a bullet, or just really spray and praying. But that is not so viable in this game because of the 4-bullet cooldown. Let me think about what else I can tell you about this game. So, told you about the bullets, told you about the shield system, the pole system. There's also an elite game mode. This is Royal, but I will show you the elite mode in the future. Perhaps even in this video, depending on how time works out. But elite is basically a 3 versus 3 juggernaut match. So think of it like your typical juggernaut game, like from Halo, except there are 3 players per team, and then there's a rotation. 1 player each round from one of the teams will be the juggernaut versus 3 players from the other team. So you have red versus blue. Say red starts the rotation. One of their players will start as the juggernaut. They have quicker movements. They get a laser, which is a different weapon I'll tell you about in a second, and they get more hit points. The other 3 players are from the competing team. They have the plasma cannons that everyone is using in this match. Elite is kind of the going competitive mode right now. Ubisoft is pushing that one heavily for tournaments. I believe they run weekly and monthly tournaments, normally with prizes up to a couple $100. In the case of the Alienware tournament, up to a couple $1,000. And so that's the gist of Elite. Royal is this mode, and then we also have some player-created modes called Obstacle, which is very cool. That's an entirely different video. Obstacle is basically your ability to move quickly through a course that is not competitive in a combat sense, but competitive in a speed sense. So it's sort of like platforming, really. What's our other mode? Battle is another player-made mode. Battle is basically a team domination style setup, but it is I don't think it's official. And then finally we have Joust, which is an official mode, and Joust is basically a 1v1 rotation knockout format. So you go head to head with another player, and then whoever wins that match stays in, fights the next player. You get knocked out until your turn, which is normally within a couple minutes max. So that's Joust. Now, I said I would tell you about the other weapons. So right now we're using the plasma cannon. I don't really know the proper name for any of the weapons, I will warn you, but we know this is a plasma cannon. And oh gosh, there's also a grenade launcher equivalent. I need to get away from the storm. Grenade launcher equivalent, and a sniper rifle, which is basically a railgun. 3 players. Okay, so one's over there, one's in the other corner. Got him. Yeah, no, I stopped talking again, but it's for good reason, as you can see. Because this is totally playing for money right now. That's how good we are. I'm conserving my shots. I'm going to try and do a burst fire. Yep, it was worth it. So there's that strategy in saving up your ammo, as I told you. Just kind of shooting one every few seconds is good to keep them suppressed. I hid behind the pole, let him fire off his shots, and saved my 4, and then rapid fired at him. I'm actually in contention for first place. I'm in second right now. Goes to 200 points. Anyway, multiple weapons. So, plasma cannon. You have a railgun, which is the railgun is basically a one-hit kill sniper rifle that's a hit scan, meaning there's no traditional leading the shot. You shoot wherever your cursor is, it hits it. No delay. So that's the other weapon. It's one shot before the cooldown, unlike this plasma cannon, which is 4 shots. And then there's a grenade launcher equivalent that I think is 2 shots before the cooldown and has a massive AoE damage effect. So that is a pretty sweet weapon. The way you get those is by going to different pads or buildings in the game. So you see here we have these healing pads. You can step on something very similar to activate the sniper rifle on certain maps, and that gives you a pretty good advantage if you have a vantage point. A big disadvantage if you're a bad shot, because you only get 1 shot and then it cools down and they'll probably kill you before you can respawn. The grenade launcher is activated by going into a bunker, and also some strategy to that because you can get trapped in those pretty easily. Storm will take you out or other players, but the advantage of having an AoE weapon. So right now I'm in second. It's between me and him basically. These other guys, we won't even talk about them. It's going to 200 points, and first there will win. So I'm gonna stick to my strategy right now on this map of out surviving and of hitting players. I'm gonna kind of avoid the pole. I captured it once earlier, but that was risky, and it's not trivial to get a pole with so many good players. So I'm gonna hang out, get free points basically for surviving, and then rely on hitting for more points. Not quite as free. See if this guy comes out of there. Gee, that was close. Alright, so I need to go heal before the storm gets closer and cuts off the healing pad. And this will give me a pretty... This will at least equalize the playing field if it comes down to me and another person in the middle, because, as I said earlier, you want to have as much health as possible. I can hear a guy. There he is. And that healing pad's gone, but it was well worth it because I didn't die there in the least. I got an extra few points from him. It's down to 3 players. You can see in the bottom right the total current player count. Oh, ran right into that. And now it's down to 2 players, the guy in first and someone else. Of course, I'm rooting for someone else. because I'm in direct competition with the guy in first. But I'm guessing he will win because he's a pretty good player. Yep, he wins. So he is at 185 points. I will be at whatever that plus that is. And he's probably going to win at the end of this round, at which point we will end the video and jump to a new video on Elite or Obstacle mode, which I really encourage you to check out because those are some sweet game modes. It's really... being that the game is so focused on... gosh, this guy's aggressive. So focused on player-made content. It is a Mania Planet game. If you're not familiar with those, they made the Trackmania Nations and Trackmania Canyon games. There's a full map editor. There's a skin SDK of some kind, so you can skin your character. I have a custom skin you'll see at the end of this. And you can even create your own game modes, which is what Obstacle and Battle are. So hugely player-driven, which I may not need to tell you this, but is awesome because as the game ages, you know, every game's going to eventually age and lose support from its developer or publisher officially. This game, you have the tools to take it into your own hands, which is exactly what happened with Trackmania Nations. And really, the developers, as important as they are, they don't play a huge role once it's out because the players are able to create often better or more interesting maps and game modes. Let's see if I can win this one. I'm going to let them kill each other if possible. There are two other guys. Yeah. Guy in first over there. He remembers I saved my shots last time. He is doing that to me now. It's pretty bad to jump because it's very predictable, but you can jump and speed boost, which I have somehow neglected to mention. That's what that bar in the bottom right is. He's going to hit me because I'm talking. It's a speed boost. It's what makes you go so fast in this game, just like skiing and tribes. You have a limited speed boost. Say good game, good round, good fight. Limited speed boost. Once you've used it, it's got a cooldown just like the gun. So that's the other part of the skill. So to wrap the game up, just this game mode at least, it's basically 3 parts. 1 part agility, your ability to dodge. 1 part aim, and where's me? Where is me? Great grammar, right? There I am. So there's my custom skin on the far left. You can see that I was talking about. 1 part agility, 1 part aiming, and then finally 1 part speed, your ability to maintain that momentum and keep flowing with the map. And that is probably one of the harder things to learn, but it is so rewarding once you learn how to stay moving at a really high speed because, I mean, just like tribes, it's, you know, it's fun. And you're hard to hit, you get to the pole faster, all kinds of awesome stuff like that. So that is Shootmania Storm. This is the next map. There are quite a few maps. They're all very good, except for maybe one. Check out the other videos on the channel for the full proper review that really explains everything in more constructed format, rather than me just shoutcasting as I play and get killed. And check out my videos on Obstacle and Elite modes, which will be coming very quickly after this one. So, review will be published on the website. Go to gamersnexus.net, check that out. Follow us on Twitter, also /gamersnexus. Follow on YouTube, you know, whatever you want to do. If you think we deserve your follow, please share that with us. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.